I know how to fly just fine. Ho-ho! Nova! Bah!
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur coming to you with another review. This week, I checked out Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And this 2022 show stars the voices of Zach Angular, Emmy Lowe, and William Stevens, among others, of course. The story of this show is about this street punk named David, and one day he gets this cyber upgrade, and it's like a spine thing that he inserts into his body, and it allows him to slow down time and stuff. So now with his upgraded body, he joins a gang and they go out and they do missions, rescue missions, kidnapping missions and whatnot. And then, he just keeps getting more and more cyber parts. But what will happen? Well, you have to watch the show and find out. All right, so let's discuss this TV show. Well, this TV show is kind of based on this video game, Cyberpunk 2077. And before that, I think it was like a tabletop game. But I did play the video game. I actually really liked it despite all of its, numerous bugs when it came out. And I played the heck out of that game. I did most of the missions. I, burned down a yacht. I crucified a guy. You can actually do that in the game. It's like a whole redemption thing. I don't know. And then what else? Oh, I went to the moon in the end as well. I think that's like the bad ending, but I still did it. They even gave me a Cyberpunk 2077 microfilm to, clean my glasses sometimes. And so if I start, nerding out about this show, that's why. I really did enjoy the game, but yeah, let's get into it. With that being said, the first thing I noticed about this TV show was how true it was to the game. Right down to the locations. They're driving around the town, oh, there's that bar. Or they're driving through a housing complex. I'm like, oh, there's that. And so you can pick the video game apart that way, or the show apart, and really kind of notice these finer details. What else? Oh, the weapons are also very similar as well. They have smart bullet weapons where the bullets will go around corners and stuff, and that's really cool. They have this electro whip thing that's really cool. That's actually in the game as well. And like I said, the main character can slow down time and stuff, and that's right out of the video game as well. So having all of these kind of very true to the game moments and, just aspects of the show really made me appreciate it and showed that, they really did study the game and went through it with a fine-tooth comb and really put all of that stuff into the show as well. So I thought that was absolutely great. If you are a gamer for this video game, then totally check this one out. You'll love it. In addition, I did have some doubts going into it about the main character because with the video game, the main character has such a in-depth kind of story and you're with them all the time. And this one, I have to say, they successfully pulled it off. They really did kind of take that video game main character feel that you have with the game and insert it into this. So the main character plays a street kid, which is actually a role from the video game. And their story really does develop and you really get to see them grow and change throughout the whole thing. And so the main character's story just works. In addition, all the other side characters I thought really worked as well. You have Lucy, this Edgerunner. You have this little Rebecca kid running around with big arms and stuff. And so all of the other characters definitely work. They kind of feel very much like a team and they care for each other. And so all of that character stuff definitely works with this. Also with this show, it does have kind of this hidden story to it where in this world they have something called cyber psychosis. And that's where if you get enough body modifications, your mind just snaps and you kill everyone. And so there's always this underlining kind of story about whether David's going to get cyber psychosis and just kind of freak out because he's getting more and more modifications and he's using the stuff more and more. And it's just this intriguing sub story where it's always in the back of your mind. Is this the time he's going to go crazy? And how they animated that was very interesting as well. So whether or not he does, you'll have to watch to find out, but it's a very intriguing kind of sub-story that I just wanted to mention in here. In addition, with the animation, I really did enjoy it. It is kind of traditionally done, so it's not CGI. I know some people don't like that, but this one, yeah, very traditional. So traditional, anime fans should like that. And the aesthetic, I thought, worked perfectly for this kind of world. It's colorful, bright, neon at times, but also can be, dark and gray at other times as well. So I think it's exactly what it needs. It is a little bit cluttered sometimes with too many colors and neons on screen, especially during certain fights and whatnot. But I thought it worked really well. Definitely has that kind of classic feel to it. And so, yeah, if you like, things like Akira and that type of stuff, then this should be up your alley as well. So it has lots of cool ideas, lots of cool visuals and stuff. So if that sounds like something you wanted to do, yeah, it's only 10 episodes. I think with this season, they're not going to go any further with this storyline. So if that's a concern of yours, put that concern away. Yeah, so it's just very interesting. So what can I say doesn't really work with this show? Well, I think having played the game, my critiques are going to be a little bit different than if you're just looking for the show. I think with the show, there's some concepts that aren't really explained. Having played the game, I didn't need an explanation, of course, but I think there are concepts like cyber psychosis is not really well explained in the show. They also have like this dark net type of thing going on as well that's not really explained. Of course, I went to the dark net or the black wall net or whatever it's called in the game, so I had no problem. But if you're just watching the show, I think some aspects of it are going to be a little bit, iffy with you, but just go along with it and you should have a good time. Other than that, having played the game, I know it's not 100% true to the game. They are missing a bunch of the gangs. So in this one, they have Maelstrom Gang and they have Animal Gang, and they're in there, but they're missing my favorite gang, the Mox. It's this all-female gang, and it's missing from this show. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. They're also missing the Voodoo Boys, and that's like this dark net gang. They're missing the Valentino gang. They're missing the 6th Street gang, or I guess they have like the doctor from the gang, but nobody else. And they're like the American kind of militia fascist gang. And so I would have liked to have seen other gangs in there, just have like a full out gang war. But I guess they're, working towards their story. It would be very confusing to have so many different gangs, but it works for what it is. Also, they have left out the samurai sword. That was my favorite weapon in the game. I would always use the samurai sword, so they look cool with like neon edges and that type of stuff. It would have been really cool to see one in this show, but they left that out. I thought it would be so cool to have that as just the main character picks it up for an episode or whatever, but you can't get everything you want with this type of stuff. So even though as the gamer in me loves the show, but I feel it misses a few things. So it is what it is. Let's see, anything else? If I was to be, super, super critical, there's a few edits or cuts that I didn't think worked. One edit has like the frame is just like turned 90 degrees, and I don't really know why that's happening. Maybe they're trying to be like more punk than cyber at that point, but I can't be too critical. It's only, 10 seconds here out of the whole season. So it is just, I think, a decent show worth your time if you're willing to, commit to it. So who would I recommend this show for? Well, you've probably guessed it by now. If you've played the game, check it out. It's just like the game. It's wonderful that way. If you like, traditional sci-fi anime, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, that type of stuff, this should be right up your alley as well. As for a score, I have to give it the awesome score of 8. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.